right? All right, not yet. So it's got nothing to do with you anyway, Tom, you know that, I mean, I know, you know, yeah. So, but, you know, you can only own you can only own so much of it, so. Like, all right, man, all right, have a good one. Yep, bye. Sorry about that, it's just Kenny Perkins, and he's out plowing, he's had problems with the carrot tunnel truck, and so, you know, and pretty much he calls me, and I'm like, dude, you got problems with the, you know, your plow truck and your stuff, give me a ring, cause, you know, how can I, so.
Right, what time did you say on the clock there, Charles?
1834,
34?
1834.
Meeting to call the order at 6:34. Thank you. Good evening, Chuck. All right, first article is Peter Coughlin will be present on the phone. He's just giving us information, so there's no decision factors or whatever. Let me see if I can find him. What's his name? I don't know if he's available, but if he is, that would be awesome. Oh boy. Good evening, Peter, it's Sandra. Sandra, how? You're on a speakerphone.
Okay, hi everybody, who's there?
Hello.
We have, third assessor Chris Hugh, second assessor Charles Hathaway, Susan Hathaway, the town clerk, and Charles Peabody, a business owner.
Okay, good, well, hi everybody.
So it's a small group.
Well, I can't imagine, your assessor meetings get, many people to show up. I know down here in Randolph, we get 0 to 1 every week.
Well, we've had a little more activity than that in recent months, but,
Okay.
tonight we have one visitor.
Okay.
So I just wanna bring everybody up to speed. We've been discussing our website, Peter, as you know.
Yep.
And I'm glad you shared some information with me. Thank you, and thank you for offering for being here tonight.
Sure, I would have much rather been there in person, but, by the way, I did test positive for COVID yesterday. So,
Okay,
I was feeling crappy all weekend, coughing and stuff, and I may cough a couple of times here, but, yeah, I tested twice yesterday, and it was positive both times. Darn, been vaccinated 4 times, and I still get it.
4 times, wow. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, sir.
I would have much rather been with you tonight, but then again, I don't want to give you COVID either.
I know. Thank you. I've managed to stay away, but I'm not saying that again, because I'll end up with it, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, there's some concern. We have a new clerk, and Susan Hathaway, and she's expressed interest in overtaking the management of our website, as I discussed with you. And just wanted you to give us your overlay of who you are, how long you've been doing it, and so forth. And you did outline some concerns with me that I thought were very important for the board to hear. Just in general, I mean, you know, nothing personal, just things in general. So I got you in the middle of the table, so we're gonna all try to hear you.
Okay, good. And tell me if I'm not speaking out loud enough. Can you hear me okay now at this volume?
Yes,
No, we
I
can
can.
hear you, we can hear you, Peter.
I'll get closer to the microphone here.
I got the volume up as high as I can on the phone, sir.
Okay, and I got my mouth almost on the phone.
God love you. Okay, but thank you.
All right, so if you give me 3-4 minutes here, let me just give you my perspective, because we might be able to save some time here and some questions. So let me just give you a little bit of background and tell you what some of my thoughts are here. So it was Judith that I remember talking to back in 2019, and I told her that I did this on the side, and so we eventually hooked up with a company called Gov Office,
Right?
which is now called Catalyst. And we started the website, and I do this more as a hobby. I don't do this for money. I still work full time. I wear 13 municipal hats in 6 different
Right.
But I will tell you that the fourth has been like my slowest, town because, I'm gonna thank you, Sandy, and Judith for all the stuff that you sent me over the years, but maybe there's nothing going on in the fourth. I don't know, but I kinda don't believe that. I think there's probably a lot of stuff that still could be up there, or there's things that need to be updated. So it really comes down to people sending me stuff, because if I don't get it, I can't make any corrections or updates. So people need to send me stuff, and usually when they do, I'm gonna have it up there in either minutes or hours, or I'm gonna do it at night. Like, when I'm done with this call, I'm gonna sit down, because I get emails from the other 5 towns that I work on, and that's what I do at night. It's just updating websites for different towns. I'd rather not sit down and watch TV. And I will say that I don't care who you are and whatever you're doing, that when you take on a new job, there's a learning curve. And there's a big learning curve in learning a nice system that we have. Some of you might know that there are all kinds of ways to make websites. And you can go with something as simple as WordPress or some of these other things from other companies, but this is a classic, you get what you pay for. And granted, this company charges towns in your population $600 a year, which is damn cheap. But there's a definite learning curve, and I've been doing this for, I don't know, 15 to 20 years in some of the towns that I do here, and I'm still learning. I still got stuff that I still haven't figured out yet, and there's a big learning curve here. This isn't just about, hey, I'll give you the password, you can take it over now. Sorry, it doesn't work that way, because you got a lot to learn. That's why most towns just say, send it to Pete, he'll take care of it, because we got way too many other things going. So really the bottom line here is stability, and I firmly believe that keeping a website up to date is critical, and it has to be current, but all of that takes time. And I'm just wondering, and I found this in every town I work with, that the staff, whether it's a new staff or old staff, town offices and town employees they have way too much to do now, and being so busy, I'm wondering if someone really have the time to learn this big learning curve, or even the desire to learn another task. It's a lot of work to do this.
Can I speak for a second, Peter?
Is, if you can't find a little time to email me stuff, then how are you gonna have the time to learn this stuff? Because it's all about stability. So my 2 main points here is, if you're not like me, my guess is that in the positions that you folks hold there, I'm wondering, do you see yourself as being in your position in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years down the road? Because if you're not, and if someone wants to take this over, go ahead, but you've got a long learning curve in front of you, and if you're not there 1 to 3 years from now, then your website just died, because there's no one to carry it on. Plus, you've got a contract with a company that you have to keep going with, but now you have no one to do it.
Okay,
And if someone wants to take this over, I'm not gonna bail you out and say, Pete, you need you back, because
Peter, can I
wise decision. So, bottom
have,
line is, I would recommend doing this. It's got a good thing going.
Peter, can I have a,
I'm telling you, I'm more concerned about the future stability of the website than it is than about me.
Right.
Peter, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, so first of all, I wanted to say, I had no intention of taking this over as, it was introduced to you. My concern with our website is that it is not up to date. There are many errors on a lot of the pages, and I understand that you're not a mind reader and that you can't detect what problems or errors there are unless you live here, you know, or somebody feeds you the information. That's my that's how I would want to be involved, is to be able to give you the information and or update it myself. I mean, I heard that you have a full-time job and you're doing 10 other towns, or however many towns. So the fact that I'm a clerk, it seems like, this is maybe 10 hours a week. So I'm pretty sure I can fit that in. And I've done many, wait a second, I'm not done.
When it comes right down to it, and my biggest concern is, you got a learning curve here. And yes, people can, we have the ability to, if the fire department wanted to have their own part of the website, sure, we can give permission to the fire chief to go in and do his thing. Or the clerk, to go in and do their thing on their part.
So are you thinking that it's so complicated that I would not even be able to populate a calendar with today's meeting date, for instance, that wasn't there until?
The town of Pittston over here, Jeff wanted to put the calendar up there, even though she's been sending me the things all the time. Said, can I put these on the calendar myself? And I said, sure. So I gave her permission to just put stuff on the calendar, and then she does that.
That's all I'm
When we
asking.
do something like that, I'm gonna check things, because you may find that things are not formatted correctly, or things are being done wrong, and now I have to go in and fix it.
Right.
But that may or may not help work it out, but sure, I can give, go to a calendar, that's fine. When it comes to updating other things that's just wrong, that's just because no one's emailed me stuff. It's that simple, just email me stuff and I'll have it up there in minutes or hours.
I totally get that. I've done, several websites myself, Peter. And so while I have not used Catalyst, I'm a pretty, fast learner. I don't think that this is rocket science. I'm a mechanical engineer, so, I'm pretty sure I'm capable. The thing is that, as I had mentioned earlier, that there are, here's a for instance, on under town government, it lists select board. We've just been told by MMA that we can't refer to ourselves as select board, so it has to be assessors in a plantation. And then there's first selectman, second selectman. You don't know that, but I do, so it would be easy just to go in, fix it, and call it a day. It doesn't seem like it, and for me to, as I mentioned to the board last month, every single page needs to go over, somebody needs to go over every single page for accuracy, timeliness. Are we serving, for instance, do we have a link to the dog license? I know that we've got that poster up there, but we actually have the ability to register dogs now online, and it would be nice to put a link somewhere on the website, or a link to rapid renewal, or it's not just errors that I'm thinking about, there's also enhancements I'm thinking that, and if you want me to feed you, or if I have permission from the board to feed you all that, that would be fine by me, but somebody needs to clean up our website, because at this point, it is a little bit of an embarrassment.
What I'd be willing to do, if you want, I'll come up there on my own time and sit down with you or whoever and go over every single page, mark it up, and I'll have it done by the next night.
For that matter, I could drive to you too. I mean, Peter, you don't have to go out of your way that, but yes, I think a cooperative effort would be nice. I just need the board's approval in order to do that, because at this point, I don't have it.
Yeah, so when it comes to adding sidebars and adding different stuff on the left and right side, or the middle, or the calendar in different places, or having links go, that's where a lot of the learning comes in.
Of course.
This company has changed a few things and I'm still learning. And again, if you have the time to learn all this stuff, then it's gonna take you time to do that. But if you want provisions of certain parts of it, like you wanna do the calendar or whatever, or election results, like, that's one thing, the board is the only town I don't get stuff from when it comes to, minutes, or a special town meeting, or a town meeting warrant, minutes, or election results, any of that stuff.
Right.
You can put that stuff up yourself, or just send it to me on election night after you count all the ballots. I stay up till midnight uploading all that stuff on the town website and sending out emails.
I mean, that's amazing, but at this point, we don't even have the date for the primary election on our website. We don't have the town office hours.
No one told me.
I know,
I know. And
I am not faulting you, Peter. I understand that you could not possibly know these things and that you've only been fed what you've been fed. That's the point that I'm
Okay.
trying to make.
Let's take a break here.
Can we, from this conversation forward, can we have someone, take on the task of sending me emails more frequently?
Yeah,
Like, I bet the other town clerk here in these other towns, every day they're sending me stuff. And that's what you guys need to do, is every day that something comes up, they're not going on the website.
Peter, who did you say sends you that information?
me.
Who did you say
And or Judith.
No, in other towns, who did you say sends you that information?
Usually, it's the clerk or the administrative assistant.
Oh,
or
boy.
the select person.
That's what I thought you said.
Usually.
It
Okay,
depends on who sent me stuff.
right. And that's
I
what,
wanna make sure that whatever we put up there has been blessed by the board,
Right,
not just the third assessor saying, hey, Pete, can you put this stuff up there, the other two don't agree? No, I don't wanna get involved in that stuff.
exactly. Yeah. No, I agree that it can be improved. I absolutely agree with that.
And again, I know how busy you guys are, and I think you just need to raise the importance here of sending stuff to me more often.
Right,
that's the point.
If we can do this with 5 other towns, and that's right up to date, in fact, 3 hours ago, I got an email from one town that said we'll close early tonight at 4 o'clock, Pete.
right.
Put it right up on the website a minute later, send out a blast email to everybody in town, and they know about it right then.
That's awesome. No, we appreciated having your help, and Susan was actually one of the instigators to get us to get the website in place when she was previously clerk and treasurer. So that, that prompted that process to get started, which, has been a good thing. Yes, it can be improved, I agree with it.
Yeah, because I look at some of these other town websites out there, and you can tell there's a certain date usually where the last board minutes are up, or the thing hasn't been updated, it's like, yeah, someone left it at the town office,
Yeah.
whoever's at the website, not there anymore, just died.
There's a turnover in any towns, and right now, we all have a 1-year tenure. We don't have anything longer than that, so, any of us could be not voted back in next time, so.
That's why I was saying, if you want some stability, I'll
Yeah.
probably be doing this when I'm 85.
No, there you go. I like the stability you brought to the town, Peter.
I was not interested in taking over. First of all, yeah,
Yep,
because
Yep, and
I was just interested in updating the website, but, if,
let's do it.
yeah, let's do it. But
So,
the board needs to have a vote.
yeah, and if you want to discuss this after this call, go right ahead, but I'm offering to you right now, I'll take a day, and I'll come up there, and let's go over it screen to screen, and make everything we need to do, and then I'm gonna expect it to be sustained after that.
There you go. That's a good goal. I like that goal.
And Barbara, if you wanted to put the calendar
I'm Susan, not
Her
Barbara.
name is Susan.
Oh, sorry. I'm thinking of the gal who called me this afternoon.
Okay,
Oh, that's all right, Peter. You're not feeling well, all right? So, I make a motion that Peter remains our webmaster. And that Susan become the liaison with board approval to update the website and work with Peter.
Second.
I'm in favor of that.
All in favor? We're all in favor.
Okay, one thing while you said that, Andy, one thing I suggest though is, you know, if I die tomorrow, or if I got hit by a car, or if COVID killed me tonight,
Done.
no one I only had one of my 6 towns ask me, hey Pete, can you tell us what's the way to get into the website stuff? Because if you die, we don't know what we're gonna do. I said, correct, you're not gonna know what to do.
Right.
What I might suggest is that when I come up, I either type it up or you save it somewhere, so if, you know, up to 1 year, 2 years, 3 years down the line, when you folks maybe are not in the position anymore,
Right.
and something happens to me, someone's gonna be able to pull something out and say, oh, that's how we get in the website.
You're gonna leave us a treasure map?
You really should have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's definite. And I might
Okay.
wanna sit with you when you come up too, Pete. But, I think this is a good compromise to get things moving again and get things
Okay.
accurate.
so this Zoom meeting is gonna expire in 3 minutes. I just wanna say thank you Denise, thank you Heather for, joining in. It looks like, can you hear us all right? And this is good? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, I appreciate it.
All right, Peter, you're still our webmaster.
That's cool, that's good, but is there anything I can do like tonight? Like, I'm gonna change Board of Assessors.
Yeah, it needs to be Board of Assessors instead of Board of Select.
Right, and
Is there
it's
any other public
well,
that I
it's-
can change in 2 seconds tonight?
first assessor, second assessor, and third assessor.
Peter,
not
I had a
select board.
list of things that, did you forward that to him?
No, I didn't forward to him. I've been going over it and looking at it, making notes
Okay.
on it. So I'll
Okay.
go over it with you too.
All right.
Um,
We'll get something to you, Peter, there's nothing that's urgent, I mean, the website has been in this condition for months and months and months and months and months, so nothing needs to happen tonight, though we
Right.
do appreciate it.
But we'll get going on. I appreciate your time tonight.
Yeah, no problem. I wish I could have been there, but.
Well.
I'm glad you're not, frankly,
So be well,
nothing
get
personal.
well, and we'll meet sometime, for sure, Peter, I think that that's an awesome, offer.
Yep.
Very generous of you.
We'll work it out with you, sir. But thank you very much for your time and your input.
Thank you.
Yeah, so, Judith isn't there, is she, right?
No, she's now our tax collector.
Okay, so I'm gonna send, when I was up the town office here a few years ago, he gave me like 5 or 6 copies of the past town report. From
Right.
like 2014 to 2020.
Okay?
And I told him I'd return them to her, and I was gonna bring them back to you tonight. But
Oh.
I'm just gonna put them in the mail this week and send them back to you, because some of them have her name on it, and she said, I remember she said this to me, make sure you get these back to me, Pete.
Yeah, she's got her name on it. She's got her notes in there, so she'd appreciate it back.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'll put them in the mail, so, put her name on it too.
Okay, I'll make sure she gets them, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Thanks, folks.
Have a good
Thank you,
evening.
Peter.
Thank you very much.
All right, sure.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, they're still there, but it's 6:59, so I'm not sure.
Okay, good compromise.
Yes, so Susan, you can make a list of all the things you want, and like, even if we're not in a meeting, you could send it to us and we can approve
I've
it.
been going over that.
It's
with
not
you.
a compromise, by the way, this is exactly the model I was thinking of, I wasn't trying to take.
You said you were
Well,
gonna
I
go in
mean,
and do
let-
it.
let's just get it fixed up. Let's just
get it
Yeah, let's
fixed.
work on it. Let's move
Yes, I'm
forward.
just, I think that maybe there was a misunderstanding,
Anyway,
yeah, perfect,
All right.
running out of time, yeah, so we are running out of time.
All right, so that's Article 1. Thank you. Article 2, Tax Collectors Report. Judith is not here tonight. She did send an email. She said, good afternoon all, hope everyone is doing well. Just wanted to let you know that she woke up in the morning with a sore throat. She didn't wanna come to the meeting tonight. I have really nothing new to report at this time. The one valuation question from taxpayer Mike Lamaro has been addressed by Bob Gingras by Mrs. Thompson, and his account adjusted and advised. Taxes are paid in full. To date, outstanding 2024 real estate tax amount is $36,092.02. We wait reimbursement for the state of Maine for the reimbursement for LD 290 exemption, total of $1467.99. Tax revenues are very slow, and this is a normal trend. Once folks begin to receive tax returns, the folks will see more receipts once again on a weekly basis. At this time, I have no revenues to receive for the week, so we'll have to await mail activity throughout the next few days. Sincerely, Judith Hutchison, tax collector, the Forks Plantation.
Make a motion, we accept Judith's email report as read.
A second.
All in favor? All in favor? Good job. Alright, where am I? Here I am. This is from Evan. Okay, Article 3 Treasurer's Report. Evan came in briefly to drop off some information for the meeting. We do not have a warrant for payables tonight. And I can read the report if you'd like me to. Checkbook balance as of January 16th, 2024. Starting balance of $189,820.13. There are some outstanding checks that decreases the balance to $186,607.13. And the January payables, which are ready for him to prepare a warrant, all signed by all three of us, decreases the available balance to $167,937.51 is what it would be.
I didn't, okay, all right.
No.
No, it was just the Annie Webb, I remember that I signed that off like, a week ago or something.
Right, right.
But I just didn't see it in the ones,
But all the
the
payables
ones
are
I
ready.
signed today, I didn't see it, but I
So when
did.
he comes in tomorrow, tomorrow he's supposed to be working with Joe Kelly, on W-2s and 1099s. There is a big concern though that I have that we don't print those until we go over the report and make sure that they're accurate. A lot of problems we've had in past years is that W-2s will get imprinted and the amounts are not correct. So they need to be verified before they are printed.
And is there a process for doing that, like a checks and balancing,
You basically just go back over your payroll warrants and that kind of thing.
every payroll?
Not every, but I mean, if you see something out of hand, you know, like my check stub right now says 10,000 something, well, you know, I only make 8,000 something. But I did have that time at the landfill and that kind of stuff. So I mean, if you look at it and say, well, that's not the right figure, but
It
there's
doesn't
a
make
reason
sense,
for it.
right?
So you just look at it to make sure that it's accurate, and it has to be a board member that does that with the treasurer.
He knows that, right?
No, but
Right.
I will inform him.
He had a question too, were you gonna, didn't he have a question about?
No, no,
No?
About what?
Something about postage, no,
oh,
okay, never mind then.
Well, I had mailed the 2 county checks by certified mail, and I had the 2 stamped, whatever you call them, for that on the thing, but I only had 1 receipt, cause I couldn't find the other receipt.
Oh, that was his concern.
But I did pay for both of those, and they've already signed off on it, so,
Okay,
so.
all just mentioned it twice.
Right. No, that's fine, I mean, I don't know where the receipt was, but,
I also, had reminded him, cause I saw that he was here today and I stopped by,
okay,
and he had not yet, but I reminded him that he needs to transfer the money from the long-range road account to the general fund.
right,
And he said that, thanks for reminding me that he would take care of it, so, but it's something that's just in my mind, and I
right.
need to keep following up with it until it's done.
Well, there's several other things too that I've done. The new account for the reevaluation account hasn't been set up that I could see. And we also have to put money in the Moxie Dam Long Range account too.
Right. Out of the general fund,
Right.
just fund that account.
Right, so, he's not here tonight, so we can't address the concerns, but do you have any insight on his recent behavior?
No.
No.
No, I think that he, has become recently mindful of what his role is, and that he has a very specific function. And I think that he may, have gotten sidetracked and bogged down with personality issues. And so, I encouraged him to focus on his key responsibility areas and, to try to put other things that might be concerning him aside, particularly right now, because it's the end of the year, we need to get 1099s and that kind of stuff. I
Right,
feel like he's doing that. He told me that he's got an appointment with Joe to go over the end of the year stuff. So, for me, I just find Evan responds well to reminders of what it is that he needs to do, as opposed, he seems to respond to that, at least, I haven't seen any action, but he said, yes, I get it, when I mentioned about the
Right.
money transferring, so other than that, no, I think it's adjustment, like it is for everybody.
well, there's no communication between him and me. And that makes me very nervous as far as the internal control policies that are in place for all our positions, that we need to be aware of what's being done and so forth. Just a concern. So,
Yeah, I don't know, what the solution is.
I don't know either, but there's complete breakdown in communication, so. I don't know. You didn't say 2 words, I wanted to check with him tonight, and I'm disappointed he's not here, but I understand it's really, really bad traveling, right?
He lives in one of the most treacherous spots I've ever been
I
to. I'm
know,
absolutely
it's
shocked that
crazy.
he moved.
Yeah,
I wouldn't live there. I moved from California to a 45-degree
know.
slope. I'm
well,
like,
Evan's done a lot of hard work, and he's worked really hard for
I
us.
call it Billy Goat Bluff.
I know, but,
I'm just saying, I don't blame him, it's treacherous. I
right,
probably wouldn't leave.
no. I mean, this is all that I have from Evan tonight, and I can read the account balances on the, individual accounts. They really should be read and put in the minutes, the balances of the accounts,
Okay.
okay?
Oh, boy.
No, they should be,
Okay.
they should be.
So you have cut and paste?
I can give you the printout if you want it.
Plus it's up here.
Yes, I
You
would
want the
like to
printout?
print out, yes,
How's that?
absolutely.
Instead of listening to me?
Perfect,
Perfect,
yes.
how's that?
I
If
love
you can
it.
make sure those in
Thank
the
you
minutes,
so
I would
much.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
Um,
will do.
Yeah, no, I would appreciate it, thank you, Susan. But other than that, I don't have any, after the last meeting, it was clear that there was a complete breakdown, so. I don't know what to suggest or how to get past it, I certainly don't wanna put any pressure on him in any kind of way.
I think the most important thing is to try to stay focused on the key responsibilities that the treasurer needs to do, which are the functional responsibilities, and just try to stay focused on, these are the reports we need, this is when we need them, these are the things that need to be done, and this is when we need them.
But it's
You know,
hard
other
because
than
he
that-
hasn't been through a regular month yet to get the rhythm or the idea.
Well, see,
of
that's
what
the
they-
other thing, you know, I mean, I think, you know, he didn't exactly step into a, you know, like a
Right.
smooth transitionary,
Right.
transitionary period, and I still think that probably a lot of the dynamics associated with what's going on in the town in the last couple of years are confusing and overwhelming to him. You know, and I think he really just wants to try to do the financial piece
Right.
to the best that he can. You
Right,
know,
I
and
agree.
stick with the numbers, he's just the kind of guy he is, he's
There's-
like a bookworm type dude.
There's standards for every job, Charlie, and
Yeah, well, I don't have a solution for you, Sandy, I mean, as far as how to, you know,
yeah, I didn't know.
communicate effectively with Evan,
Mhm.
I don't know.
Okay. Just thought I'd ask. What else was there? There's a couple other things. Hold on, I'm gonna read that. We do have a payroll on Friday, which I do have ready if you guys wanna look at it before you leave.
Sure.
But the W-2s and 1099s need to be reviewed before printing, which I'm gonna send an email before I leave tonight to make sure that he and Joe understand that. Hopefully there's nothing wrong, but I'll tell you what, there's been some years when there've been some pretty incredible things printed that weren't true.
So they need to be before they're printed.
Right, yeah. So, and you know, that's usually done with an assessor and the treasurer, which I can work out, absolutely. Yes, a motion to accept his report.
Make a motion to accept Evan's report.
All in favor?
Wait, it wasn't seconded.
Yeah, first, seconded.
Oh, okay, so I'm sorry, so.
You're right.
You made the
Sandra made the motion,
motion.
Yep.
Chris seconded, and then all in
Okay.
favor to
Yep.
accept.
Alright,
I did. Okay, town clerk report, Susan.
okay, so the Zoom meeting is now done, the test worked. You can see where oh, there it is, the little message. But anyway, I just wanted to test it before we even have if it didn't work, why even have a hearing, right? It just seemed like it made sense to do a trial run.
So it
And
worked.
It worked.
Yep.
And you could tell that I muted them, you can mute or unmute, so we have control to. And then the way I set it up with a password so that not every Tom, Dick, and Harry can join in. They have to know what the passcode is. So I don't know going forward, I was thinking that we would put a link on the website. And I don't know if there's a disadvantage to, allowing anybody who wants to attend via Zoom. It's basically gonna be more like a webinar, not an interactive Zoom thing.
I mean, and you don't even have to be a citizen of the town to show up for a meeting, anyone can watch it.
Right, true,
So
yeah.
it really doesn't.
So just put the link on the calendar,
Yeah.
where it will be the time, date, and
Yeah, next thing you know, there'll be people all over the world
chiming in.
watching our.
1.3K views.
It can be chaotic, but we need to have some semblance of order and.
Well, there's no disruption if you mute everyone.
I think it's you mute everyone until it comes time to citizen comments and
Yeah.
questions, and then we unmute it, and
Right,
we give people a chance to do that, and that's just the way that our town meeting is supposed to go also, you know?
Right.
And
right, so, yeah. Anyway.
And it works for everybody too, you know,
It seems to
board
be.
members, citizens,
Right.
It
interested
seems to
members
be
of the public.
a solution,
Yep.
anyway. Okay, dog licenses, there's still a few outstanding, I mentioned it to you, Sandra,
Yeah.
before the meeting, I'm not sure what to do, but maybe I have spoken with people who have not registered their dogs, so maybe they just, I don't know if I'm supposed to police it is the question.
I think you can only remind them, and I think you've done well
Okay,
doing that.
that's
And then, what, you send them another thing and it's $50 or whatever it is,
Wow.
right?
Well, it's whatever
I had to
don't
pay
even-
it one year.
Right.
Okay, and then elections, I thought until I looked at my email at 3:07, and I needs immediate attention.
Jeez.
So this is what I have to deal with elections. This is the third mailing.
This is for February 5th, correct?
This is just stuff that, I mean, I have to just.
So when is the next election?
March 5th.
March
March
5th.
5th, it's a primary election, it's Tuesday, March 5th. I don't know, we haven't received ballots, of course, because Shannon Ballos is still in court trying to figure out who's gonna be on the ballot.
Right.
So I don't know how that's gonna all wash out, but that's not my thing, so anyway.
So March 5th, I don't know if that, Lindsay is gonna be here, if she's gonna be on the Canyon.
Well, whatever, I'm the default, registrar, so I can register anybody if they did come in and needed to,
Right.
participate, so. I mean, I haven't asked Lindsay, I haven't, I haven't, whatever, I probably
Right.
should have, but I have not.
No,
at
that's
this
fine.
point,
I gave her a couple messages from the Bureau of Elections, they wanted to get her into CBR, and they gave her that information, so I'll
Right.
check back with her.
Yeah,
I'll check.
and I have not received any absentee ballot, requests or
Mhm.
anything, so, like I said, I thought I was all caught up until, I got this email this afternoon, so. Other than that, I don't think I have any other thing that, the remote participation thing, oh no, yeah.
I got a
we just
separate
did that,
article
right,
for
right,
that.
right, okay, so that's it.
Yeah.
That's all and we already did the website stuff and all dandy.
Okay, make a motion, we accept the clerk's report,
Second.
all in favor? All in favor? Thank you. Okay, where am I? Sand and salt, this picture has changed an awful lot on the sand and salt business. You wait till you see. Right? That's my head scratching. So, last month. I got the figures for Andy for the last month. First month, the Forks used $22.75 and the county used $38.25 for a total of $61. This past month, the Forks used $39.5 and the counties used $60. Total of $99. You add those together, you come up with $160.50. We only had $78.89. We had 2 deliveries so far, okay? And if you take that out, we're in a deficit right now of 81.61 ton, okay? So we owe them some salt, high, all right? Our budget line was $18,275 for the year. If you take the average load, which is 2,600, and divide that into that, you come up with 7 loads that we budgeted for. We've ordered 2, and right now I would say we should get a minimum of 2, if not 3. But I have to clear that with the DOT to see what they want brought into the shed, okay? But I can see this clearly going over budget if this trend continues.
We have a lot of weather
Yeah.
just lately, and this, it comes in waves and will slow down again.
Oh, well,
I think too, though, when you look at this, you look at the type of weather that we've been having, and there's no question, it's debatable why and whether we'll go back the other way. But, the type of weather we're having clearly calls for increased salt use than perhaps these years where you have just deep snow and they plow it, and maybe a little salt here and there. The type of weather we've been having is clearly salt-heavy weather.
right,
And we might have to keep that in mind for budgeting in future years, that this seems to be a weather pattern that we're stuck in. you know, and that, you know, we need to prepare for this shitty type of weather and maybe twice as much salt as we used to use. You know,
But I do like that Andy is breaking it down between the Forks and the county. Usually we get one lump for both of them, we have to consider a percentage. So this gives us an accurate accounting, which is very, very good. He's a new contractor, again, he's back at it, so, I mean, he could be doing it a little bit differently, but like you said, the weather patterns have been extreme. So, I just wanted you guys to know that right now, I would like approval to buy 3 loads, but they may only want me to get 2 loads.
Is that a space issue, is that what it gets down to for them?
Well, it's space and it's also what Caratunk is buying and using, so they wanna make sure that we offset each other for buying.
Okay.
Alright,
I
but I've worked with the foreman for the new DOT foreman, cause Brian Combs is gone. And I have to talk with her before I can order more, but I would like to have a motion to order up to 3 more loads of salt, if we could.
Yeah, I make a motion, you order up to 3, let us know if you can't get 3.
I second.
Okay, all in favor? All right, I will take care of that, but with that 81 deficit, because you already know we're only halfway through the month, right? So it's gonna be more, so that's why I was thinking 3 loads would give us 34, 34, 34, let's say 12, 102, so. But they may only want us to buy 2, so. All right, thank you, that's awesome. That'll keep our roads going, okay?
I'm just curious, salt used to date, I'm just trying to make,
Okay.
this is tons over here to the right, 160.5,
Right,
and then 78.89.
was what we had delivered and in reserve, we had 11 in reserve.
Okay,
So then you take that out, there's a deficit of 81.61 ton. Okay. I'm sorry if it doesn't make sense, I'm not
well,
clear.
I'm just looking at this, it looks like, say 99.5 or 100, so that's 161.
Yeah.
Tons.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, all right,
Yep, yep.
and that's the best way I could think to
No, I just had
portray
to
it
do the
for you.
math for a minute to make
Yeah.
sure that added up.
Alright, cool. Thank you very much. Number 6, acceptance of the minutes of 28, which are right here. Huh? Right. There wasn't anything written in on 7 and 8. But, I mean, that formal complaint was just mostly just to have it on record. So there really wasn't much discussion there. The sand and salt, I just gave you the numbers for the, that month. It would be nice to have the numbers for the sand and salt written in. Did you make note of them?
Sure,
Or not?
okay,
For this,
okay, you
No,
can
no.
give that back to Sandy. And then these are the numbers for the salt that you,
we're
No,
we're
the
going over
last
the
one.
minutes.
We're
right
doing
now.
the minutes from the
Oh.
last meeting.
From the last
There
meeting.
was nothing, we didn't put any input on 7 and 8. The 7th was a formal complaint from a resident, which we basically discussed, and I had it on there just for record.
I think, right, and
Yeah,
what I've been told is if there's no motion, then you don't have to say anything. But if you want me to, I'll,
yeah, I mean, the sand and salt was basically just giving that breakdown of, and sometimes it helps Susan to have it in the minutes so
so
that,
that you don't have to go chasing after.
yeah, if I can't find my notes or whatever,
Okay, so,
and I don't remember what I
so
said.
add that to last, month's minutes is what you're asking?
Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
No, everything's concise and looks really good. I have no other complaints.
And where am I gonna get that salt? Or I can listen to it from the video, is that
You
what
could, I mean, I had it written down, what I had said. Hold on. What I do with it, so. I don't know what I do with it. That is what's here. maybe just go through it to listen to it. Yeah, I don't even remember what I said.
I'll look at the video, I can, fast forward through it and get.
I went over the salt deliveries, what was delivered, and then what we used, what we had on hand.
Okay, yeah. I didn't do that now either, I just said motion to allow Sandra to order up to
Right.
3 loads of salt, that's all I wrote
I
about
can give you a copy of
the report
my
today.
hand scratching if you want it, or Charlie's got a copy of it, if you want it. Alright, it's just a, an accurate accounting, Susan, that's all.
Okay,
I appreciate it. Cause that's quite a big increase. Cause
Okay,
last month
great,
we'd
so-
only used, last month we'd only used
so
22.
this is what I should be putting in, right here, this total? Because this is from 12/23 to
Yeah.
1/16.
That's what he just reported.
Okay,
And last month
is that
we,
tons?
Yes.
tons, yeah, they're tons.
Okay.
Last month we had, I'm sorry. God.
Well, it says it right here, 61.
Yeah. Right,
Okay.
I don't know if that's what I reported though, because my addition doesn't look right. Cause it says, yeah, I had 67 on hand, 22 gives you 44, and then the 1725 gives you 550. We had 2275 in reserve left at the last meeting, and this month we have a negative 81, so it's quite a huge difference. Yeah, but that's why we reported every month, Charlie, so we can keep an eye on it. Okay?
Yep.
Basically, there's no rocket science, just keep an eye on it. I appreciate it.
Make a motion, we accept the meeting minutes of December 28th.
Okay?
I don't see anything else.
No,
With those modifications, right?
With
please, with
modifications.
corrections,
Okay,
thank you.
yep.
I second that, all in favor? We're all in favor. Thank you. And you have a copy of the remote participation policy somewhere.
Yeah.
You have it too, Charlie,
Yep.
right? And it's a blanket policy, basically, which, if somebody can't be here, then, this is what we can do.
It's not like something to do all the time, it's just
Yeah.
on as needed basis
As
as
needed,
far as
yeah, it's not
town
gonna be done.
representatives go, and then just making it available to the public.
I didn't,
I think, don't we have to make it available to the public even if all of the town's representatives are here?
no,
We don't.
no, it says right here,
I'm just,
says the public body named above may meet solely by remote means, and that means if everybody's gone. Then what was the other one, remember?
that was about the emergency stuff, that's very confusing, I hope we never have to
Well,
do
no,
that.
if none of us can be here, then
Right.
we'd all have to meet remotely and we'd have to do it that way. But a member, members of the body must be physically present for public proceedings, except when authorized to participate by remote methods under this policy. When remote participation is authorized, members of the body may participate via remote methods in the following circumstances. And this one says, when a medical condition of the member or family makes attendance impracticable, when traveling, or when unexpectedly outside the municipality, which could be a weather event, could be any number of things.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really state specifically, but it says that the chair or presiding officer, which, I don't know, would be maybe first assessor, I don't know. Would be, take that into account and call the emergency remote session together. So it's not an every meeting occurrence, okay? But this does allow you to do it.
I'm just not, I'm not 100% certain when I read this, and I would wanna, my only question is that if we're all here, okay? And we have the remote participation policy, if
That's
a
what I-
member of the public wanted to attend that meeting via Zoom, I think that we have to let them, even if we're all here. It's not like if one of us is missing, then we do Zoom, and if we're all here, we don't do Zoom.
It seems to me like it should be an opportunity for the townspeople to do that too. And if
I mean-
it becomes part of our meeting to say that we hook this thing up every time and say that.
Whether
if
we're all
anyone-
here or whether we aren't.
If anyone shows up and clicks on
It's
there and
just-
shows up,
You know, what I'm thinking about it, and it's just, you know, we could ask for clarification from the MMA, about that.
but it seems like we're doing it for both
Right,
us and the people in town.
Right.
So, I mean, we have these policies that are clearly for us, but as far as like making it available for everyone, that's just the other side of it. That
Yeah.
We just need to just do, you know, I mean, if we're gonna have it available to the public, we gotta do it every meeting.
I don't see a downside to having it available for people. I think it needs to be managed like we discussed earlier. But
somebody has to keep an accurate recording of who's remoting in, so there's an attendance thing, you know,
Yeah.
like you had.
just like when they are showing up here.
Right, no,
same
I'm-
thing.
I know.
Susan, is that something that you're willing or interested in doing?
150%.
I would think
Yes.
so, but, okay.
Yes, I would, yes.
And under the public input section, this is a little bit, I don't know if it's applicable to us. Says if the body allows or is required to provide an opportunity for public input during the public proceedings and effective means of communication. Well, we don't normally do that even in a regular meeting, you know. We do have a period of comment, but there's not really. The body will accept written comments from the public prior to the meeting, which will be read at a subsequent meeting. That's not very clear to me at all.
I think, yeah, if somebody has something before the meeting they wanna send to us, we will make it public and read it to them, but
Yeah.
I
put it
think
on
the
agenda.
other side is on our agenda, we have
Right,
public,
So-
you know, citizens' comments and
I mean,
questions.
this doesn't seem, it seems like this needs to be reconstructed, that part of it, because
It's a little confusing, but,
yeah,
to me, and I would have, I find with a lot of these, sometimes I have to read them 3 or 4 times.
Right,
Before,
well-
I can,
I think it's good to get it in
Conceptual.
place and, protect ourselves in case we can't be here.
You know, one of the things that you can do in a Zoom meeting is share your screen. And so instead of them seeing us, they could see, we could just put the agenda up on the screen or something.
Yeah, and they can have audio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't say that they have to see us, but I think, is that what you guys were talking about in terms of if you have something in your hand that we need to make it available for them? But we could just share the screen if they, or,
Well,
I don't
actually,
know.
sharing with what we present to the board at our meetings, it has to be what's normally presented, so we don't always share with the body. We
You
share
don't
with the
always-
board.
You don't always give the agenda to people?
Well, the agenda is something that's shared, yes, when people come in,
Well, that's what I
That's not
was
a
just
problem.
saying, I said we could just screen share this.
but other documents and stuff that
No,
we
of
use.
course not.
Okay, no, I'm just
No,
saying,
of course not.
because there is a section that addresses that says it's nothing that,
No, I mean.
Okay.
I mean, I think if we just make it policy that like, that they're muted until public comments, and if they have something that they wanna get to us prior to the
That's
meeting,
when
they
they
send it
do
to us.
and that's the interactive phase of the meeting.
Yeah.
So maybe, I mean, does that need to be added to this policy? Cause this is like a mock.
I know.
I mean, I would think that it would be a good thing to let them
I
know
think-
that, like,
yeah.
public comment will be only available during that portion of the meeting.
Right.
Right, right,
Yeah, this is just a template, we can adjust it, I mean, it's not, you know.
exactly.
I mean, it's a good thing for them to know that, like, you know, cause, I mean, we do need to go through our list of things that we're having our meeting about without interruptions.
Right, so when Charlie and I were reading this over, one of the things was, like, last month when we had the meeting and it directly affected the Peabody's liquor license, then what do we do? If they were,
Well, if it's, then we're speaking with them, and obviously it's like a,
okay, so that would be a time when we would unmute somebody and there would be a interaction.
No,
If it was, if it was
Yeah.
the Peabody's calling in from Zoom,
That's what I'm saying.
then yes, we'd obviously
if
have to.
they're on the
unmute them.
agenda, then they should be able to speak in their behalf.
Right.
Okay, so then that also
Then you would-
needs to be put in the, in the policy, so that if it directly affects them, then they would be allowed to speak
On their behalf.
On their-
on
If
that
they- if they
agenda.
are-
On their behalf, on that agenda item.
I think-
Okay, and then, but otherwise it would be during public comment only,
right.
right? Okay. So, are you gonna modify that?
Yeah, I'll
Work on it. Okay, the other thing is the public hearing, which we have not had yet.
Right.
To introduce this policy, to accept it and make it part of our whatever. It has to be a 7-day notice. We have to post a notice for the public hearing.
I mean, you could make the adjustments on this, we could all look at it and send an email and say we agree with it, put a public notice, and by next meeting.
try to have it at like whatever, 7:30, 5:30 or
Yeah,
6 or
earlier,
something like that.
whatever.
Half an hour early, same
Yeah, and
day.
it would need.
Let
this-
me, I'll try to get this adjusted and, then emailed to everybody to look at, and then if
And then it would
everybody's
just
good with
post
it, or, you know, and if you're not, then you send it back, we keep working it until we do, and we're all agree on it.
Right.
When it gets posted, we have this public hearing before, I will get on it so we can have that, cause I think the public hearing requires a 7-day
Notice,
notice,
it does,
special notice of itself.
yes.
So this needs to be done, you know, within the next couple of weeks.
And then we just need to agree what day we can get together, right?
Well, aren't we gonna do it
We should be
during
able
the
to do
meeting?
it through email, right?
Public hearing is a separate meeting, like a special meeting.
You can't do it beforehand? Like before the assessors
We can't
meeting?
call it at 6 o'clock, like before the meeting, we can do that, right? And then
Say that we're gonna have the public hearing at 5:30 on, you know, the same day of the next assessors
Yeah, I
meeting.
guess, I don't have any problem with
Just to
that.
reduce the amount of travel.
But it's a
time,
separate
so-
notice. It's a
Yeah, separate,
thing.
absolutely.
Right.
Separate notice
Yeah,
needs to go
okay.
up and
I have a
everything.
problem with that.
It's like its own special meeting, but we're gonna, you know, bounce it
I don't
on
mind-
the
I don't
same
mind
day
doing
that
it
we're
on the
doing
same
the
day.
assessors meeting, just so.
I don't mind doing it on the same day.
Well, it's, yeah. we'll
I don't
do-
know when the next, are they gonna have the next date? We don't need the date right now, but,
Well,
I
is it
think
the third Tuesday?
hold on, I got February. February 3rd. 1, 2, 3, not till the 20th. That's February vacation. And I have to be in Portland. That's not a good idea. Well, we can figure that out, we don't have to. But no, that's good work on this. I think we're making some headway.
Oh,
And I'm glad the test
We do.
worked out okay. I'm just not convinced we need it every meeting, but anyway, we don't have to worry about that right now. And there's nothing really to accept or just move on.
yeah,
Yeah,
discussion.
I do have some news on the audit. On the 24th, January 24th, Charlie and Chris. January, where am I gonna get my calendar out? January 24th, I believe it's the 24th, let me look at my text, I mean, my email. Let's see, I believe it's January 24th. Ron would like to talk with us as a board. Okay? I would recommend that we meet here at the town and we do it with a conference call. We don't have a Zoom account set up. it's a preliminary meeting, it's not a presentation of the 2022 audit.
In the past, we've done Teams meetings. Is it something
We
can still do?
have, but, I don't think there's gonna be any documents for us to look at, I think it's just a conference kind of thing.
Mhm.
And I suggested that we do it with the full board so that everybody knows what's going on.
So do we come in here to do that, or you do it remotely, or how does that work?
I would suggest that we come here to the office.
Wednesday at what time?
I don't know, I'm gonna find out, I don't
I
know.
mean, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that. Can I
Yeah.
call in for it, or is it something, cause I do work Wednesday and
You do,
Thursday and
okay,
Friday.
okay, so,
And it's him himself, or it's not?
I don't know if it's him and Karen, but I
Okay.
believe it's gonna be he, cause he was the one emailing me. And once I get more time involved on that, I will let you know. He did say that, the 2022 audit's gonna be wrapped up by the end of the month. So that's good news. And he didn't give me any indication of anything that he's found or anything. There was no discussion. That will be when we're all together.
Imagine.
Well, I think it'd be better when we're all together. I think that's a better thing.
Yeah, I think it's the only real appropriate way to.
Yeah,
do
me
that.
too. I'm not, going on a limb. I want all of yous with me.
Mhm.
But I'll figure it out. So you're thinking about the remote thing to be the public notice, and the thing will be done on the next assessors meeting, is what you think?
I've written that in here in the meeting.
Right,
in
no,
the
all right.
minutes, so you can refer back to this.
So we need to have a Zoom account before then and all that fun stuff.
Yes, because they.
We used to have them.
Yeah.
We used to, we let it go.
Yeah, it expires, as you could see, after, they're only
Oh, I
30
know.
minutes.
Yeah.
For the freebie.
Right. Which, if you set up an account, it's a much better thing.
Yeah, Yeah.
But as far as the audit goes, that's definite activity that I think is good to share. So hopefully, I don't know if that means we have the copy, in front of us by the end of the month, I don't know, but definitely.
You mean the audit?
The finished audit, yeah, I don't know. And he still hasn't answered our letter that we sent him either, so. We have questions we can ask him, right? But that's all I have for the audit. Article 9, UKVAS update. We are having a meeting Thursday night. We were supposed to have our meeting last week, and we didn't. I am going Thursday night. I did not attend the last meeting, as it was after the, audit work that we had for the 2 days, so I did not go to the meeting. I did present the budget last meeting, and our increase was only $680, which is a modest increase compared to the $12,000 increase the year before. The ambulance is in good health, and it's, I don't know when the new ambulance is coming, but I will have more information next month. Okay? And I'm going Thursday night. And that's my report.
Motion to accept your report.
Seconds?
All in favor? We're all in favor. Thank you. CFWF, I did give you the, budget that we agreed on last time. We have a meeting tomorrow night, right, Charlie?
Yep.
6 o'clock, right?
6:30, I think. Did we decide to go to 6 for all?
You asked to have it at 6, but I
I'm
don't
all
know.
at 6, okay.
I mean,
I probably did.
whatever. So, yeah, no, it's new year for CFWF. Chris Mann was sick on one Sunday, and Gordon Haynes agreed to fill in for him. So Gordon has some time on the payroll this week that you'll notice.
Mhm.
Well, he had one day and Chris had one day, so that worked out really well. I really appreciated that he helped us out.
Good.
But other than that, I have nothing for CFW. Make a motion to accept the report.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. Got it. Old business, for old business, the doc, you're gonna have stuff for us next month?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Steve is, yeah,
Gonna get started, cause you know, if we want it in place by May, we gotta get going. But yeah, no, that's cool, alright,
been
cool.
working really hard on Rich and some of those stuff lately,
Mm.
side check outside of the building,
Wow.
that's why I didn't have it today, but it will be.
But you are gonna be open time,
Yes.
yes, cool. Alright, any other old business, Charlie, can you think of anything?
I have a couple of things,
Okay.
that I followed up on, as far as the question came up about because of the way Kevin is paid, whether he would be eligible for workman's comp.
Mhm.
And they said absolutely he would be, but the amount would probably be very small,
Mhm.
predicated on, you know, how he's paid and how much. And I think they look at maybe, you know, anticipated future earnings and, you know, snow related, so, but they said he's covered.
Right.
Which is what I needed to hear. I mean, I don't think he's gonna get rich off if he hurts his back, but he's covered. So
No.
that means we're covered. The next thing relative to Kevin, and, I'd like to, get the board's permission to go up to Berry's and buy a couple quarts of oil to change the oil in the snow blower. I talked with him about it, he said he thinks he did it last year, not sure, and he said probably could use it. And I'm like, you know.
I'll make a motion that you get a few quarts of oil and change
You know,
it.
he and I'll, either I'll do it or he'll do it, he and
Yeah.
I'll do it, so.
Definitely.
You have your key, right?
Yep.
Okay,
Just so everybody knows, I'm pretty big on preventive maintenance.
no, I know he did do it last year.
Well, I talked with him about it, and he said, yeah, it probably would be a bad idea. Because you got age-related degradation in addition to use-related degradation with oil.
Will you get reimbursed for this?
Yeah, if I charge it up there, right, and I sign it.
Yeah, you can chat, we have
On the
a
little
pad
account.
for the town.
That's all.
I didn't know that, and I work there.
We don't use it very often.
Okay.
I second your motion, all in favor? Okay, cool.
Wait a second, okay, so that was a motion.
Yeah.
To have Charlie get the oil
Okay,
and
yeah,
do
yeah.
Or
that.
whatever it is, I gotta look
Do
at the
the
manual
oil
and the
change.
type and find out how much it is. The other thing that we talked about was the generator.
Mhm.
I didn't do any serious research about the generator. I think that's something that has to be, put in front of the voters at town meeting.
Yeah.
We're looking at probably for a remote generator, we're probably looking $10,000 to $12,000
Mhm.
installed. That's the decision I think, again, we have to put in front of the voters. And we'll see how it goes. There is a grant available for generators through FEMA and through federal government. It's, Linda Grant filled one of these out
Mhm.
and actually got it approved. And they were gonna pay for half of the generator.
Mhm.
Then the town did not wanna pay for the other half. Again, that's the voters' choice, that's not what, they didn't wanna spend it that way.
Mhm.
I can look into getting one of those grants, I can tell you, it looked to me like it was quite detailed and, tedious and, I don't know, she says it took her a lot of time, but I can start looking at getting a FEMA grant. I mean, I've never done a grant before, they say people are good at it and they figure, you know what I mean, like, there's some people, I think there's people even do it for a living.
Oh,
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
they write
Oh, yeah.
grants for a living
Yeah.
to get like
Yeah.
nonprofits funds, cause they know how to, the language and all that kind of stuff.
Right?
But, if you're okay with that, I can at least start looking at the FEMA grant. I mean, if we can get some money for
It's
it,
not gonna
if the
hurt.
voters approve it, then we
We
get
got time
matching
before
funds when it
June, we
gets
got
down
time
to.
before June.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all
I
right.
think we need a backup generator, because if this is gonna be a safe haven for anybody, for heat, for, cooking, I mean, we have a kitchen, we have a shower, I think that we need to keep it open in all kinds of weather.
I think there's that piece, and then there's the piece, if the plate freezes up and we start having pipes busted all in here, it's gonna be tens of thousands of dollars to fix it, you know what I mean? So, it's a dual, I think it's a dual purpose, you know, if we can get this, I'll take a look at that. I'm just gonna be honest, I'm not excited about it, because it
Talk
just
to
looks
Linda,
like
she'll talk to you.
I'm extraordinarily detailed, time consuming, you know, typical federal government, like doing your taxes type of situation.
Right.
But if it can pay for half of a 10,000, we get, only have to kick in 5, that's worth doing.
Substantial.
I'll put some time into it.
I think it's a very good idea. We don't need a motion for that, it's not spending any money. No, we don't need it.
Cool.
New business. I did have a call from NECEC, a Catherine Robling, who is like the public advocate for the corridor. And she had, some information of contacting, which I think we should put on the website, Susan, her contact information for any urgent matters or any concerns about anything related to the project.
Okay,
So, I think, she said, as always, please don't hesitate to reach out, all the best, please feel free to share this.
what's her name again?
I have a copy,
Okay.
I have a copy. I think that, you know, cause she said that they'd been doing some work on the Troutdale Road, and I said, yeah, I know, I live up there. I said, I'm quite aware of it. And we talked about Jim Wright and how approachable he is and some of the good things that he's done in the area. And, but please give my number out to anybody has any concerns, and good, bad, or indifferent, whatever they are, if they're concerns, that's good information, I think.
Are we on new business?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Just one thing I wanted to throw out at you guys, and it's still, kind of a work in progress. I really think that having job descriptions for the three of us is advantageous for a number of reasons, primarily continuity, particularly, if we're looking at 1-year terms. And so what I've come up with conceptually, I don't know if this makes sense to anybody. I did an outline, I called it, it's kind of from when I was, you know, a nurse manager, key responsibility areas. What are the key responsibilities that the three of us have? And the people that work for the town. And then, once we define what those responsibilities are and break them down, then we can assign them to certain people. I mean, right now, it's kind of unofficial, you know, Chris takes care of the dam and the dock, you know, but there are other things, there's the financial piece, there's the roads, there's this building, there's, you know, all this kind of stuff. And it's not so much necessarily specifically how to do that, but that these are key things that we're responsible to take care of. And the other thing that concerns me a little bit moving forward is I'm thinking about the future. And this is nothing, right now, the first assessor has the financial piece. That's fine. There may very well be a first assessor who's either unwilling or unable, or who doesn't want that piece, and the third might be a better person to do that job. I think there might be a better person to manage the roads and the infrastructure, and that, you know what I'm saying? So if we have these defined, we could also, not us, but moving forward, future assessors could maybe shuffle them and say, you know what? I'm number 3, but I'm really good with numbers, and we all say, yeah, let's the third assessor do that, first assessor will take over roads, or what have you. This is just a concept right now. I don't have the hard, you know, I've started to work on it a little bit. I don't know if it makes any sense to you guys, but I thought I'd throw it out there.
Well,
And
the
so-
first, second, and third assessors in this town has never had job descriptions, okay? And I'm not saying they're better or different, it's never been
I
done.
remember when I first got in reading this job description thing about the assessors that Judy handed me. It was like, just a general thing.
Yeah, but it wasn't a job like, what are the responsibilities?
No,
Now,
no, it was
West
just
Forks has
general.
that.
Well,
West
I
Forks,
looked
yeah.
at West Forks,
Yeah,
okay?
and I have
This
not.
is, well, the issue was I had with the West Forks, when you look at the terminology,
Yeah,
it's from the MMA, and it's as if you are an assessor. Because in a lot of towns, okay, you have the select board and then you have an assessor, okay?
Yeah.
So it doesn't really fit our role as an assessor, because despite the terminology, the fact is, we're more of a select board, we don't go out and assess property. And that's, you look at like the job description, and I'm like, I know that, you know, Jim St. Laurent is not out filling out those
Oh.
little cards and
I
assessing
know,
properties,
yeah.
but it says that that's what part of their responsibility is. So, they have them there, but I don't think they fit.
No.
You
They
know what I mean?
didn't
And I'm like,
customize them as much as.
yeah, I'm like, this doesn't
Yeah.
fit what we
What I
do,
did
so.
is I wrote down in preparation of working on these, you know, what I do on the responsibilities, what I've done, what I handle, whatever.
Mhm.
And I've done that, and then I wrote things down for Chris. Judith never did that for second assessor, but I did write down some things that she's told me what I was gonna have to take over when she was gone, and
Mhm.
she's obviously gone. So, I mean, I have a lot of that information handy.
I think it would come in handy, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not trying to, you know,
No, I
You know,
wanna share it with
any
you, I really,
information that we
that's why
have.
we wanted to sit
I've been
down with
thinking
you.
the thing to do is go to the MMA and get job descriptions for select board members, because it really fits more what we do
Yeah,
than as opposed to an assessor, because literally, you read their descriptions, it's talking about assessing property. We don't do that.
I can
They
share some of
don't
that
do that, I don't
information.
think it fits, you know what I mean?
You could have a
we
work
do-
session on it.
Yeah, so I think if we can
Yeah.
pull info like what you've got
Yeah,
from various sources,
Yeah.
maybe we can, you know, come up with some descriptions. And again, I'm thinking about, as the town moves forward, and if and when new people come in, it'll make it a lot easier for them to be able to transition into
no
knowing exactly
roadmap,
what it
but-
is that, what they need to
it
do.
would make it easier.
That's
And
all.
Charlie also thought that perhaps, like for instance, the clerk one, I read through it and there's some repetitive, you know, paragraphs that say the same thing, you know, so. And then there's also like policy stuff in there that really isn't part of the job description, so I feel like there's stuff that should be taken out of a job description, and then I don't think that there was anything about elections, for instance, in there, or whatever, I just feel like, or dog licensing, I think that, whatever, I just feel like there should be bullet items of.
Well, these are only drafts, these are
Right.
only
No, I
drafts.
know,
And then I think
but we were
too,
just, that's what we were just talking, that was, you know, to try to come up with some format that
Standard.
this is, exactly, a format that this is, you know, put the title at the top, and then these are their duties. And if you wanna have a related policy,
you refer to a policy.
then you
procedure
refer to,
or whatever.
right,
Yeah.
it would be like for the town, that you know, you don't share keys.
I think
you
we
don't
should work on
duplicate
those.
that.
Yeah, it's, I don't think it's, you know, it's something that I think that we need to work on, in my opinion, for the benefit of the future of the community. Caratunk has no job descriptions, they know what needs to be done, and they sort of informally, oh, well, you know, Mike
Right.
does this, and you know, Liz does this, and Neil does that.
Everybody
And
jumps
that
in.
is, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I think that, having it, you know, sort of just, you know, spelled out, formalized, like an outline, is not a bad thing either, you know what I mean, so. But that, it's a work in progress, and I think that it's important when we do these for the people, to get input from the non-voting members as to, you know, if I was a nurse manager and I'm like, you know what? You don't have a job description, go write one for me.
Yeah,
That's what I would do,
I know.
because I'm just saying, and I'm not saying that that would be what I would adopt, but I would want their perception as to what their job was. You know what I mean? And I just think it's
I went
important
over with Kevin.
from a
when I
buy-in
did it.
standpoint, and from also getting the best ultimate, you know, description that we can.
I think anything we can do to help anyone that comes into this position do a better job is good. Anything like that is just gonna,
So,
But I just wanna mention, the descriptions that you have that I've shared with you, we've shared with the auditor,
okay,
okay? So, when you look at that, and for instance, right now, there seems to be some,
there's
Whatever.
procedure.
yeah,
and then
but I
there's-
mean, there's reasons why those things have been set up that way. And the auditor knows that that's what we have in place,
Mhm.
even though it hasn't been formalized. And we started that process with Keel, and that, was a 2-year delay with that, so
Mhm.
now we're trying to,
Well, maybe when you have your powwow with Ron,
And
we
we can be a
can
topic
go
of-
over that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, because it's important from that perspective as well.
yeah, no,
seems like it is.
but I mean, yeah,
And procedure's a total different thing, and I think that's definitely something that was like.
oh, yeah.
Yes.
What
More
we do
important
and
than
what we
a lot of
share,
things.
duties can be shared and they
Like,
need to be
The procedure
shared.
of how it's done is
There's one
obviously.
person.
Yeah, it's a little bit different from a job description.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, I
Yeah.
just got a new job and I have, what they shared with me, my job description was exactly what we were just saying, was a bunch of bulleted items and anyway.
But I'm just saying, you don't have to think that hard outside the box, Charlie, because there's already been some done, and we gotta do more work, so.
Yeah,
And we can add to it, you
Yeah.
know, we can.
clear, clean, concise, boom, this is what you do.
Yeah,
All right,
okay,
I don't think I have
any other
anything
new
else.
business? Any other new business? 13, citizens' comments and questions.
No, thank you.
Chuck, this is
Okay.
your time.
You waited all this time, you
Well,
sure you don't have
yeah.
anything to say?
I would share that I bought a generator a couple of years ago.
Mhm.
It runs the whole farmhouse.
Yeah.
I only paid $7,000 for it, and Craig installed it for me, delivered it, and, it's gas at 17,000 K,
Nice,
and runs the well pump,
yeah.
the furnace, a freezer, refrigerator,
Mhm.
runs everything. He said the only thing is, he wouldn't, and he didn't say you couldn't do it, he said the only thing that might put a drawer on it if the well pump was running and the furnace was running and you turned on the oven. He didn't
Oh.
suggest writing the oven during, other than that,
Yeah, he might be a good one to get a quote from.
ran it a year, never had a breakdown, and then, never had a power outage in last year, it's just
How big-
every week,
So funny.
17,000 K.
Yeah, but it has a gas tank, so you gotta,
It's
how,
propane, I have
Oh.
two, you can come and look at it, it's right out in the front lawn here, two
Okay.
propane tanks.
propane tanks,
Yeah.
okay.
That would be
Yeah,
good.
which is what I would recommend too.
So when that included the pad, he came up with Jim, put the pad in, and then I called the gas company to come up and they put the tanks in. But maybe you want 10,000 here, but, it's
I don't
running
think it's
everything,
an
it's
electric
crazy.
guy to-
Unless, if there's electric heat here,
Who did you get it
probably you would
from,
need it.
Chuck? Who did you say? you
Craig,
got?
Craig.
Craig
Oh,
Fisher,
from
the
Craig,
electrician
okay.
at West Fork,
Yeah, I talked with him too, because I told him we were looking into it, and he said, well, I could give you a quote, but I didn't ask him for it, so.
the only thing is, if you haven't moved out of town, he's the one that services those,
Yeah,
and
Yeah,
so you might have an issue there, but I bought it from him because he's in town and
yeah.
he comes down in a heartbeat. I had one question one time and he was right there.
what
But
kind is yours?
it's a Kohler,
Kohler.
the one that's the most popular and everybody puts into the Generacs, they're cheaper. And they're about $700 cheaper, maybe as much as 1,000, but they're the ones that Home Depot sells and everything. And if you buy one from them, they'll farm a contractor out to you, but they don't answer any service calls on them or anything, and,
Greg doesn't want, I don't think he'll
We
install
have
them,
a
I don't think he
Kohler.
wants to deal with them.
We have a Kohler too.
the Kohler, and even Pat Reed, before Craig was here, told me the Kohler has a lot less problems, but everybody,
Yeah.
most people have Generacs, because they're the most popular ones.
I have a
And our
Kohler.
panel is out here, so we could set it, whatever, out by.
Just put a little, they bring a free, I thought they pour cement pad or something, they bring a
Mm.
free standing pad in, just prep it up,
Yeah.
boom, for the,
But he'd be a good one to get a quote from, thank you for the recommendation, that's awesome. All
he's
right,
he's super available, but you can, anybody, but,
no comments from Mr. Peabody?
no, thank you.
No? All right, just wanna make sure. And motion to adjourn at what? 8:04.
Thanks, Chuck, drive safe on the way home.
Yeah,
Keep it clean, the all.
we've got a long ways to go, be
Yeah, I
careful.
know.
We should have snowy nights every time. This is the shortest meeting we've had in a while.
Okay, motion, you don't want to second my motion?
I second.
Second.
All in favor, yes.
Save, okay. What has Sandy made